بسم الله والابن والروح القدس الله الواحد امين. تحل علينا نعمته وبركته من الان والى الابد امين. احبائي، احب ان انا اكلمكم شويه في شهر مايو ده عن موضوع جديد. And let me start with English as usual. The month of May has been always the month of mental health awareness. And I want to start talking to you about mental health awareness. But honestly, this is a topic that needs a lot of focus and a lot of time. And I will attempt to present some awareness about mental health today, and I would ask you to please give me some feedback personally, privately or so, after the session or any time in the future. Let me start by sharing my screen. Just a second. So mental health awareness. I want to speak to you about an important conflict that a lot of people fall into, which is when we do have some mental health problem, whether it is some behavioral issues or some disturbed thinking or disturbed emotions or disturbed behavior, whether it's in ourselves or someone else around us. We a lot of time get into a conflict whether this is originating from a psychological problem versus a spiritual problem. And this is very important question because without identifying where is the cause or the root origin of the problem, we a lot of time go in circles and we're not able to treat whatever situation is happening. If it is something that belongs to us on our own selves, it becomes very troubling, and it might lead to guilt feelings when we think that it's something coming because of we are distant from God, or if it is something that is from someone else around us. A lot of times it causes us to judge that person. So I wanted to shed some light about this situation. When it comes to, when I say mental problem, mental illness, or mental health issue, I specifically mean something that is affecting the thoughts, the intellectual problems like disturbed thinking, or an emotional disturbance. A person is emotionally distressed, anxious, troubled, depressed, any sort of emotional deviation from normal, and also behavioral symptoms. So those are the main categories that I mean mental health related issues: intellectual, emotional, or behavior. But there is usually two extremes when it comes to diagnosing or answering the question whether it is really a psychological or a spiritual problem. There are two extremes that I want to shed lights on. There is an extreme that takes it to one and only end of being a disease in whatever place it is, in the brain or in the psyche, and we will talk about that. Or the other extreme is that it is totally sinful condition, sinful situation because of because of distancing from God and lack of faith, lack of relationship with God. There are problems with those two extreme positions if we identify as that the cause is exclusively one of them. So some scientists or non-believers would claim that whenever we have a thought problem or an emotional problem or a behavioral problem, that this is totally neurobiological, meaning it is due to brain chemistry, neurotransmitters, they call them, biological brain disorder, and is sometimes genetic. And they look at it in a very reductive way, that to bring it down to cellular problems or biological problems. And therefore, it is done compulsively out of the free will of that person, and the person is 100% innocent or non-culpable, is not to have any role in it. That's an extreme. The other extreme is that some of us Christians would call it totally spiritual problem. It's because that person doesn't know God very well, or have lack of faith, or he needs more prayer, or have corrupted nature, and therefore puts all the responsibility on that person, and the person is 100% guilty. Like I said, if this applies to ourselves, it produces guilt, and if it applies to others, it produces judgment. But if we think about it deeply, about we will find out that the extreme of the scientific explanation, um, in a way, it gets God out of the equation totally, and it reduces us to the brain and the brain cells, and it is based on an idea that the atheists have developed, over, or the conviction that the atheists have, that we are our brains, and if our brains are dead, then we are no more, and they are wrong. On the other extreme, some Christians would claim that um, that the soul has nothing to do with the brain or with the body, has no connections to it, and it's totally something that is relying on God, and it's a God's entity, and therefore science has nothing to do with it at all. That's another extreme that is wrong. Um, where is the truth? The truth is that God has created us as bodies. In the outer appearance, we have a body, a physical body that we all feel and touch, and there is an intangible component of us that is called the soul and the spirit. And we will identify the difference in a minute. Uh, how do we understand that as Christians? Well, the Bible talks about it. This verse here in First Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 23, it says, "Now may the God of peace himself sanctify you completely, and may your whole spirit, soul, and body be preserved blameless at the coming of our Lord Jesus Christ." By the way, those three are mentioned several times in liturgy as well. Abouna mentions the three components of man in liturgy several times, in the middle of the liturgy, right before the litanies, and also in the litany of the sick, and in the hymn of Iboro at the end. This is a diagram that explains how that works. We have the body circle here on the left, the spirit, and those are kind of understandable because the spirit is the breath of life that God has breathed into Adam, and Adam became a living soul. But what we really sometimes don't understand very well is the middle circle there, or the upward circle that is called the soul, and which is composed of the mind being the thinker, the emotions where we feel things, and then the willpower that we makes us behave. And that's what causes some of the problems that I'm talking about today. If we have a thinking problem coming from the mind, or emotional problem coming from that emotional component, or the will that makes us behave, if you think about it, that you will find in this diagram that this circle in the middle is connected to everything. It's connected to the body through the brain, because the brain is what gives the hardware for the mind to think, the will to react, and the emotions to feel. but also it is linked to the spirit, which is the breath that God gave to give holiness to the thoughts, to our thoughts, holiness to our emotions, holiness to our will. The distinction between the body and the rest, the intangible part, is sometimes clear, but the distinction between the soul and the spirit needs to be illustrated a little bit more. But more importantly, how this intangible soul and spirit interact with the body. The model is is like the computer. We all understand that the computer has a hardware component where we can physically touch, but then also we have software that works within that hardware and makes it animated or live. And that what really can let us understand the connection between the body or the brain of the body, which is the hardware part, and the software, which are the thoughts that are working inside that or through that brain, and also the emotions that come out of that brain, and also the will that comes out of all these interactions. There is a close relationship between that hardware and software. But then what gives the quality of it is the breath of life from God, which is the spirit. So, in other words, God created us with hardware, which is the body and the brain inside of it. And then when that functions through the software, it produces those emotions and thoughts and behavior. But then those can be disconnected from the breath of life, which is the spirit of God, and can go away from God, distant, still thinking, feeling, and behaving, but away from what God intends, because it has disconnected from that breath of God. And here trouble can arise. The trouble can arise from two reasons: either the hardware and the software connection goes wrong chemically, and that's what causes mental disorders that needs treatment by a biological psychiatrist, versus distancing from God, or distancing of that software functioning through the hardware in a right way and everything, but distant from the breath of life from God, that it gives us the quality of function that God is looking for, the quality of thinking, the quality of emotions, the quality of behavior that God is looking for is different than the quality that we get from the hardware software connection away from Him. I don't know if I'm making that clear, but that's why I said in the beginning I need some feedback to tell me if that's understandable. And if we need to continue in speaking about these things in the future and explaining more in depth or not, please let me know. Just to give you a vision of what we have in our brain, this is the hardware of our brain that gives us, that God gave us. But when every area of this part of hardware actually is connected to the body, and also it produces software. So it produces like for example, um, this purple piece gives us a software called judgment. Another one in the middle called the yellow one is a memory. It's a software. And the reward or the pleasure circuit in the middle, it's a software. So that's what we call the soul. But again, without the breath of life from God that gives that software the holiness that God is looking for, we will fall into different kind of mental illness problems. So um, someone like myself who had studied like some some of the hardware software connection, and also that the part from God would have uh, um, sometimes people who come with mental conditions or thoughts or emotional problems that need the connection with God again. And I find myself telling them that Christ came to give them the Spirit, and he said, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me because He has appointed me." That's Christ saying, "to preach the gospel to the poor. He has sent me to heal the brokenhearted." The people who feel bad because they're distanced from the Spirit of God. He came to heal that, to proclaim liberty to the captives, to the people who feel like captivated by sin, and they feel miserable and have bad thoughts that are captivating them. God came to give you liberty and recovery from those. And on the other side, I find myself telling some people who have no problem being connected with God, but have a problem between the hardware of their brain and the software, meaning the chemicals of their brain are disturbed chemically or biologically, and we call those like mentally ill or disordered. And that's, by the way, it should not be a stigma, because the brain is an organ just like any other organ that is allowed to have stress and disorder. And for those, the Bible again tells them this. Christ said, "Those who are well have no need to a physician, but those who are sick." So Christ himself is telling those people, if you are sick, there are physicians for that. And then in the book of Sirach, chapter 38, it says, "Honor the physician with the honor due him, and also according to your need of him, for the Lord created him. Healing comes from the Most High, and you will receive gift from the King." And then look at the bottom, it says, "The Lord created medicines from the earth, and a sensible man will not loathe them." Here is a clear indication from the Bible that some people need medications. Um, I hope that that was helpful. Please give me feedback if you felt that we need to talk more about this or not. Please let me know. Let me now try to present this in Arabic as well. أحبائي، الشهر ده بيسموه شهر مايو ده بيسموه شهر التوعية للصحة النفسية. فأنا يعني حد طلب مني من كنيسة أخرى إن أنا أعمل حاجة زي كده، فأنا قلت يعني أجرب كده أشوف إذا كان دي حاجة مطلوبة ولا لأ. فأنا محتاج بس تقولوا لي يعني فيدباك إذا كنا تحبوا نكمل في حاجة زي دي ولا لأ. لكن السؤال اللي أنا بحاول أجاوب عليه النهاردة، لما بيحصل لنا بعض الأعراض النفسية، ولما أقول كلمة أعراض نفسية معناها فكر متلخبط أو مشاعر تعبانة أو سلوكيات مضطربة، هل ديت سببها نفسي ولا روحي؟ السؤال ده بيلخبط ناس كتير. ففي نوعين من الإجابات، والاتنين الحقيقة بيبقوا نوع من الإكستريم أو يعني بعاد عن الحقيقة شوية. يعني نوع من الناس اللي هم يعني يمكن مش يعني يا إما مش مؤمنين خالص، يا إما دماغهم في العلم يعني وبس فقط، فبياخدوا أي تعب في هذا الاتجاه إلى الإكستريم بتاع المرض، ويقول لك ده إنسان مريض، سواء أنا مريض محتاج أدوية أو اللي حواليا ده الشخص اللي حواليا هو اللي تعبان ومحتاج علاج. وفي ناس تانية تقول لا، دي خطية، ده بعيد عن ربنا، هو لو يعرف ربنا وهي تعرف ربنا هترتاح والمشاكل كلها هتتحل، سواء برضو على نفسي أو على غيري يعني. فالحقيقة في مشاكل في الاتجاهين شوية، وأنا هحاول يعني ألخصهم. الاتجاه اللي هو العلماني البحت ده بيقول إنه المشاعر والسلوك والكلام والأفكار كله نابع من الخلايا المخ وخلاص. والإنسان لما بيعمل حاجة، يعني مثلا بيتعود على حاجة أو بتاع، بتبقى خارجة عن إرادته، هو كده، أو نديله بقى علاج أو نوديه مصحة أو حاجة وهو خارج. الكلام ده ملوش هو أي دخل فيه خالص، والإرادة مسلوبة يعني. ويتقال الكلام ده على الإدمانات كلها وعلى السلوكيات، أو مثلا في ناس يقولوا حاجة اسمها personality disorder، شخصيات معينة، ده هو طبعه كده وخلاص وكده. وفي ناس تاخد الاكستريم التاني، اللي هم كتير مننا بقى في الكنيسة، يعني يقول لك لا، ده الإنسان لا، لو بس صلى وصام وقرأ في الإنجيل وعمل مطنيات وراح الكنيسة، الامور كلها يعني اللخبطه اللي في المخ او الكلام او المشاعر وكده هيتحل. والكلام ده يتقال على النفس او على الغير. لكن لما نفكر فيها بعمق شويه هتلاقي انه الناس اللي بتحجم المشكله اللي بس للخلايا المخيه، دول ما بيؤمنوش بان ربنا ليه اي دور في حياة هذا الشخص، ولا مديله إرادة، وان احنا متبرمجين، وان احنا كلنا عبارة عن شوية خلايا وشوية كيميائيات في المخ، ولما ده يموت كلنا خلاص هتنتهي الدنيا على كده. على النقيض الآخر المسيحي، بعض المسيحيين يقولوا لا، يعني النفس دي حاجة تبع ربنا خالص، وبالتالي الأدوية والعلاجات والكلام ده ملوش أي دور خالص، والدكاترة ملهمش أي دور خالص. لكن في مشاكل في الناحيتين. ليه؟ لأن ربنا الحقيقة أولا الناس، هقول لكم هبتدي بالناحية المسيحية دي، لأن احنا يعني في بعضنا بيؤمن بكده كتير يعني. لو الكلام بالمنظر ده، ما كانش ربنا يسوع جه في الجسد. لكن ربنا جه في الجسد ليه؟ لأنه عارف إن الجسد نفسه ممكن يفسد، أو مش ممكن، الجسد نفسه يفسد ودخلوا أمراض، وجزء من الجسد ده هو المخ. والدليل على كده ان احنا بنشوف ناس قديسين ويجي لهم مثلا الزهايمر ديزيز. طب ما هو وممكن يتعبوا ويبقى في تصرفات يعني غريبة وخاطئة وملخبطة وكده. فما نقدرش نقول انه الاتجاهين صح. هو الوسط هو الصح. فربنا خلق الانسان جسد كلنا عارفينه، وبعدين في جزء بقى غير مرئي في الانسان، هو النفس والروح. وفي آية بتقول على كده في تسالونيك الأولى 5:23، إن ربنا يحفظ روحكم ونفسكم وجسدكم بالكامل. الآية دي بتوضح إن إحنا تركيبنا عبارة عن جسد كلنا عارفينه، وجزء من هذا الجسد المخ اللي هو في الرأس من هنا، ده خلايا ملموسة وفيها كيمياء وفيها يعني دم ماشي وكده. فالخلايا دي لما بتشتغل شوية مع المخ صح، بتطلع وظائف، والوظائف اللي بتطلعها دي وظائف معنوية، أو جزء منها يعني وظائف معنوية. الوظائف المعنوية ده اللي بنسميه النفس بتاعتك أو النفس بتاعتي. النفس دي ليها فكر، ليها مشاعر، ليها إرادة وسلوك. دي اللي هي الدايرة اللي فوق اللي اسمها النفس. أما الروح فديت النفخة اللي ربنا نفخها في النفس لكي ما تتقدس النفس. يعني بمعنى أصح، الفكر اللي يطلع فكر إلهي، والمشاعر تطلع مشاعر إلهية، والسلوك اللي يطلع سلوك إلهي. المنظومة الكاملة ديت ممكن يحصل فيها خلل بطريقتين. يا إما عن طريق خلل ما بين اللي بنسميه هاردوير اللي هو المخ الجسدي، والسوفت وير بتاعه اللي هو النفس اللي طالعة منه زي الرسمة دي كده. يا إما من الابتعاد عن النفخة الروحية اللي ربنا بيديها لتقديس الوظائف المعنوية دي. إذا نلخص إزاي؟ نقول إن إحنا ربنا ادانا هاردوير، يعني زي الكمبيوتر كده، ما في حاجة ملموسة، عبارة عن مخ وفي خلايا وفي كيمياء، والكيمياء دي لما بتشتغل بتطلع وظائف معنوية. كويس. وبعدين ربنا نفخ فيها عشان يقدسها. الغلط لما يحصل هيبقى حاجة من الاثنين، يا إما في علاقة الهاردوير مع السوفت وير، يعني الكيمياء متلخبطة وبتطلع أفكار ملخبطة، مشاعر ملخبطة، سلوك ملخبط، يبقى حلها إيه؟ حلها دواء يصلح الكيمياء. يا إما ما فيش لخبطة في الحتة دي، ولكن في لخبطة من إنه الإنسان ابتعد عن النفخة الروحية المقدسة اللي ربنا اداها، اللي هي اسمها الروح. فبالتالي السيستم بدأ يتهز، بس بطريقة أخرى، بدأ يطلع سلوك خاطئ بعيد عن ربنا، طلع كلام ملخبط عشان بعيد عن ربنا، طلع شعور تعبان عشان بعيد عن ربنا. في الحالة دي بنقول له ايه يا حبيبي؟ خلي بالك، ارجع لرب المسيح يسوع. عشان كده الشخص اللي كده محتاج يرجع ربنا، بنقول له ان السيد المسيح جه في اول كلام قاله لما دخل المجمع في الناصرة، قال روح الرب عليا مسحني لأبشر المساكين بالروح وايه واشفي منكسر القلوب. منكسر القلوب ديت حاجه نفسيه، يعني واحد مكسور، نفسه مكسوره، يعني نفسيته تعبانه. ربنا بيقول انا جاي عشان اشفي كده، وارسل المنسحقين والمأسورين في الحريه والاطلاق. يعني ايه؟ يعني حرر المأسورين لما بعدوا عن النفخه الروحيه بتاعتي فاتأثروا بالخطيه. ده اللي بنقوله للي بعيد عن ربنا ومحتاج حل روحي. اما اللي بعيد، اللي هو عنده مشكله في الرابطه ما بين المخ كعضو جسدي وخلايا المخ ووظيفتها الكيميائيه والمعنويه، بنقول له ان ربنا نفسه قال روح لطبيب. ضرب المثل يسوع بالطبيب لما قال لا يحتاج الاصحاء الى طبيب بل المرضى. هو صحيح كان بيتكلم عنه هو كطبيب روحي، ولكن بيضرب المثل بالطبيب. يبقى اذا هو بيأبروف ان في طبيب وفي احتياجه للطبيب لما يكون في شخص عيان. وكمان في سفر يشوع بن سيراخ صح 38 بيقول اعطي الكرامه للطبيب لانه من الله. وفي الاخر الايه ديت في عدد 4 بيقول أن الرب خلق الأدوية من الأرض والرجل الفطن لا يكرهها. بإذن ربنا هنا نفسه بيقول لو إنسان محتاج طبيب أو محتاج علاج يروح للطبيب وللأدوية. أرجو أن أنتوا تقولوا لي إذا كان الشرح في هذا المواضيع يعني مفيد ولا لأ، ومحتاجين نكمل في حاجة زي كده ولا لأ. يعني لو تكست سريع كده بس. لإلهنا المجد الدائم دائما أبديا آمين. ربنا يفرح قلوبكم ويحافظ عليكم. من أجل خاطر أم النور مرت مريم الشهيدة بالسفين، اجعلنا رب مستحقين نقول بشكر يا أبانا الذي في السماوات يتقدس اسمك، ليأتي ملكوتك، تكن مشيئتك كما في السماء كذلك على الأرض. خبزنا كفاف أعطينا اليوم، واغفر لنا ذنوبنا كما نغفر نحن المذنبين إلينا، ولا تدخلنا في تجربة لكن نجينا من الشر بالمسيح يسوع ربنا، لأن لك الملك والقوة والمجد إلى الأبد.